Here's Mike, who writes from Georgia. The last caller, John, is wrong in terms of taking the high road, focusing on the border, focusing on policy. That's the same mentality of squishy rhinos who do nothing. This is war. The only way to fight back is to make sure these disgusting, evil people will be punished and never be able to do their evil deeds again. Speaking of evil, did you see Biden's grin? Did you see the evil grin Friday when a reporter said to Biden at the end of his press conference about Israel, hey, Trump claims you've made him a political prisoner. Is that true? Biden stands and slowly turns. The video gave me absolute chills. It was so creepy and so evil and so maniacal. It's like he's Austin Powers. Or Dr. Evil in Austin Powers. It was like right out of a movie. I'll tell you more about that in just a moment. But to John's point, and again, I think Trump is actually sort of saying, here's what revenge looks like. Trump is going to be very smart about this, I'll bet, as he usually is. He's not going to scream and threaten to lock people up. In fact, he even distanced himself from the lock her up chant over the weekend. So here's what he told, I believe this was Laura Ingraham. This is what he said about revenge or vengeance, and I really do believe he nails it perfectly here.
I don't care about the revenge thing. I know they usually use the word revenge. Will there be revenge? My revenge will be success.
That's what we got to do. We got to win on November 5th. He also repeated that over the weekend on Fox News as well.
You know, people also say, can you bring the country together? And the answer is yes. Success will bring the country together because I had it together. Before the China virus came in, I had it together. We really had it together. And it would have stayed. I think it would have stayed. Everybody was doing better. The country was doing better than it had ever done. And we're going back to those same policies and then some.
So what do you think? What do you make of it? 800-655-MIKE, 800-655-6453. Scott's in Northern California. Hey, Scott, happy Monday. Welcome to the Mike Gallagher Show.
Hi, Mike.
Hi.
I just wanted to comment on Speaker Johnson. He has tools in his arsenal he's not even using now. And as far as I'm concerned, the Republicans are in a revolutionary war of sorts, and the Republicans are the British, that they all form up in a line as the guerrilla tactics of the revolutionary patriots pick them apart, hit and run tactics, and they're playing it by different rules. And that's a losing strategy. That's how losers think.
Can I ask you a personal question? Because I've been thinking a lot about this lately. Because it hit me over the weekend. I can't believe where we are right now. I can't believe that the Republican nominee for president, who's likely going to win, has just been convicted of 34 felonies. Did you ever think that did you anticipate this? Did you ever see us getting to this point, or is this coming as a complete shock to you?
No, I've seen this a long time. I work for the federal government, and I've seen it. It's very entrenched. I've been in the government for over 30 years.
Wow. So you knew that we're capable of getting to this point.
60% of the government, I would say, employees think that way, like the left does. So they are leftists. So.
Pretty terrifying. Thank you, Scott. Drive safely. One open line, 800-655-MIKE. You know, I think a case could be made. You're not calling it revenge. You're just calling it accountability. Somebody needs to pay for what they've done. They didn't do this to Trump. And incidentally, let's get into some brass tacks here. Mershon, the guy that Trump continues to speak out against, is going to sentence Trump 4 days before the Republican National Convention. You know that's not a coincidence. I mean, frankly, I saw somebody post something on social media. They ought to move the Republican National Convention up to July 4th weekend. Turn it around. Let Trump appear. What's going to happen if Trump is prohibited from attending the convention, either by literally being behind bars or being confined to house arrest? I mean, you tell me what that's going to look like. Again, judging by the response over the weekend, couple $100 million in fundraising, a hero's welcome at the UFC fight, a hero's welcome at Mar-a-Lago, people driving up and down the streets in New Hampshire and New York and the Carolinas and Florida, people saying enough is enough. Bottom line is, Americans are telling the world, we don't care about these bogus 34. And incidentally, for anybody who thinks I'm just a Trump cheerleader and I'm making it up in terms of what the legal analysts are saying, again, I'm not going to break my rule. My new rule here, we're not playing CNN clips or MSNBC clips. You're not going to hear Joy Reid anymore on this show. But I will play this clip from Dan Abrams. This is the ABC News chief legal analyst. This is coming from ABC, not, Salem News Channel or townhall.com. Listen to this.
But on the second question of the jury instructions, yeah, there's some real appellate issues here that are serious questions about why didn't the defense even know what the charge was that they were going to be applying, what law that was going to be
Which
applying.
of these three underlying laws?
Exactly. And so there were a lot of questions for the defense going into this, I think, as they were making their closing arguments, not even knowing sort of what the law that they were going to be battling over was.
What a joke. What an absolute disgrace. 34 felony convictions. Now, again, and hey, CNN legal analyst. Trump is guilty of a charge that, quote, falls within the same technical criminal classification as shoplifting a Snapple and a bag of Cheetos. That's the CNN legal analyst. So spare me your thumping about nobody's above the rule of law. Spare me your righteous indignation over convicted felon Donald Trump. You're a joke in making that argument, and everybody's laughing at you, and Trump's going to win in a landslide. I'm telling you, I believe this with the very core of my being. He's going to win easily on November 5th. Craig's in Pennsylvania. Craig, hello.
Yeah, hey, thanks for taking my call.
Of course.
Before 2016 and since the coronavirus, the Democrats have always been one step ahead of the Republicans, and I think the show trial deal is simply to cover their rears for when they know Trump is going to take back over. And there will be no political will to prosecute Democrats because we've so loudly said, oh, this is all political, everything's political prosecution. So then when they have real crimes that do need to be prosecuted, the Republicans will just look the other way.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I got a feeling Trump isn't just going to look the other way, but he can't say it now. He won't say it now. My hunch is he's going to do exactly what the American people expect him to do. Incidentally, a lot of great text messages coming in on this from the MyPillow text line. The mere fact that Hillary wasn't ever prosecuted shows how Republicans are probably going to play this. The bigger issue is, I mean, just there's a lot to take in here. There's just a lot to take in.